Hello.
On today's episode, we will be reviewing visual perception, development, language development, and teratogens.
Cut to experiment 1, please.
As we see in the first clip, baby 1, aged 4 months, is being baited over the ledge with a toy from her mother. But because her depth perception and experience with heights has not yet developed, she doesn't know any better, and it's dangerous.
As we see in the second clip, baby number 2, aged 7 months, now has developed depth perception. Even with no prior experience with this experiment and being baited with a puppy toy, baby number 2 knows there is a danger and can recognize the height of the cliff.
Next, we will be discussing the effect of socialization on language development and cognitive functioning by talking about the Jeannie case.
The name given to protect her identity was Jeannie. Her deranged father strapped her into a handmade straitjacket and tied her to a chair in a silent room of a suburban house since she was a toddler. He had forbidden her to cry, speak, or make noise, and had beaten and growled at her like a dog.
Researchers took her in and took brain scans and audio recordings, performed countless tests, and compiled data and published papers.
Jeannie could speak few words, such as blue, orange, mother, and go, but mostly remained silent and undemonstrative. She shuffled with a sort of bunny hop and urinated and defecated when stressed. Doctors called her the most profoundly damaged child they'd ever seen.
Language and thought are distinct from each other, and for many of us, thoughts are verbally encoded. For Jeannie, with her seclusion from the world, her thoughts were virtually never encoded, but there are many ways to think.
One of the most significant aspects of Jeannie's case was her lack of language development. She had minimal exposure to language during her formative years, which hindered her ability to acquire language later in life. Language is crucial for communication, social interaction, and cognitive development. So the lack of language acquisition had a prolonged and lifelong effect on Jeannie's ability to function within society.
For normal, healthy children, first words come around 12 months, and then they start expanding their vocabulary up until 18 months and start saying longer phrases. But in Jeannie's case, she never reached these milestones, despite the fact that she was 13 years old. Next, we will discuss the effects of teratogens in utero. Next, we will discuss the effects of teratogens in utero, such as thalidomide and alcohol.
Drinking alcohol while pregnant can affect the embryos in many detrimental ways, such as fetal alcohol syndrome. This syndrome can lead to physical, cognitive, behavioral, and neurological impairments that can result and persist throughout life. Prenatal alcohol exposure can result in a variety of physical abnormalities in affected infants, including facial deformities that include a smooth philtrum, thin upper lip, and small eye openings, growth deficiencies and abnormalities of the heart, kidneys, and skeletal systems. These physical abnormalities are all characteristics of fetal alcohol syndrome.
Children affected by prenatal alcohol exposure may exhibit a variety of behavioral and emotional problems, such as hyperactivity, impulsivity, aggression, and social difficulties. These behavioral issues can pose significant challenges for affected individuals and their families.
This is the unfortunate consequence of many thalidomide babies. As you can see, this thalidomide baby is missing an arm, as that sleeve is empty.
Thank you for tuning in to our short documentary on these 3 unrelated topics.
Have a good night. Remember to lock your doors.